Let me tell you about somebody who became a millionaire without doing anything clever. They never picked a hot stock. They never timed the market. They never stayed up at night watching charts. All they did was put a few $100s away every single month into one simple investment and leave it completely alone. And decades later, that quiet, boring habit had turned into a 7-figure nest egg. Here's the crazy part. This is available to almost every American watching this right now, and yet most people never do it. So today, I'm going to show you the exact plan, the compounding math that makes it work, and the single most important factor in the whole thing, which is not how much money you make. Stick with me, because the cost of waiting on this is going to shock you. First, let me be blunt about why you cannot skip this. Americans are living longer than ever, well into their 80s and 90s. Think about what that means. You might work and earn for 30 or 35 years, and then need your money to support you for another 30 years after that. 30 years of earning to cover 60 years of living. And do not count on Social Security to carry you, because with fewer workers supporting more retirees every year, it is under real strain, and it was never designed to be your whole retirement anyway. So this is on you. The good news is the fix is simple. The bad news is simple does not mean people actually do it. Let me show you the plan. Here it is, and it is almost insultingly simple. Step 1, open a tax-advantaged retirement account, a Roth IRA or your workplace 401k. Step 2, set up an automatic transfer so that every single payday money moves into that account without you lifting a finger. Step 3, buy a low-cost S&P 500 index fund, which instantly makes you an owner of the 500 biggest companies in America. And step 4, the hardest step, leave it alone and keep doing it for years. That's the whole plan. Automate it, buy the index, stay the course. No stock picking, no genius required. Now let me show you the magic, the compounding, because this is where it gets exciting. Say you put $500 a month into an S&P 500 index fund, and we'll assume a reasonable long-run return of about 8% a year. In the first year or two, honestly, it feels pointless. You've put in a few $1,000s and your gains are tiny. This is where most people quit, because it doesn't feel like it's working. But watch what happens if you don't quit. Somewhere around year 9 or 10, something remarkable happens. The growth your money earns in a single year starts to be bigger than the amount you put in that year. Your money is now doing more work than you are. Keep going, and around year 16 or 17, your total investment gains pass every dollar you have ever contributed combined. The snowball has taken over, and by year 30, that $500 a month has grown to somewhere in the neighborhood of $700,000, the large majority of which is pure growth you never worked for. Same $500 a month the whole time. That is the power of compounding, and it is the closest thing to magic in all of personal finance. And if you can do more than $500, the numbers get genuinely wild. Bump it to $1,000 a month, and that 30-year total roughly doubles, well into 7 figures. Push it higher, and you're talking about serious generational money. But do not get hung up on the big numbers if you can't hit them yet. The point is that the engine works at any size, and the sooner you switch it on, the harder it runs for you. And here's how you pour gasoline on it using the account. If you did this inside a Roth, every single dollar of that growth comes out completely tax-free in retirement. The IRS never touches it. And if you're using a 401k with an employer match, your company is literally handing you free money on top of your own contributions, which supercharges the whole thing from day one. That's why you do this inside these accounts instead of a plain brokerage. Same investment, same monthly amount, but the tax treatment can mean tens of thousands of extra dollars in your pocket over a lifetime. Now let me kill the excuse I hear all the time. I'll just keep my money safe in a savings account. Look, savings are fine for your emergency fund, but as a retirement plan, cash is how you quietly lose. That same $500 a month sitting in a typical savings account over 30 years ends up a fraction of what the index fund produced. We're talking a difference of hundreds of thousands of dollars. And worse, inflation is eating your cash the whole time, so it's actually losing purchasing power while it sits there. Playing it safe with cash is one of the riskiest things you can do to your future. Okay, Now, the most important lesson in this entire video, so lean in. There are really only 3 ways to build wealth. Lever 1, invest more money. Lever 2, earn a higher return. And lever 3, give it more time. Now, more money is hard. Most people can only save so much. And chasing a higher return means taking on more risk, which for your retirement is dangerous. But the third lever, time, is the most powerful force of all. And it's the one almost everybody wastes. Here's the proof. And this is the part that should light a fire under you. Say your goal is $1 million by age 65 at that same 8%. If you start at 25, you need to invest only about $290 a month to get there. If you wait until 35, it jumps to around $670 a month. Wait until 45, and now you need roughly $1,700 a month. And if you don't start until 55, you'd need something like $5,500 a month to hit the same target. Read those numbers again. The exact same goal costs you almost 20 times more per month if you start at 55 instead of 25. That is the brutal, unforgiving cost of waiting. Every single year you delay, the mountain gets dramatically steeper. Now, if you're watching this and you're 45 or 55, and your stomach just dropped, hear me clearly. The answer is not to panic, and it is definitely not to give up. Being late is a reason to start today with more urgency, not a reason to do nothing. Someone who starts at 45 and invests seriously will be in a completely different universe at 65 than someone who keeps waiting for the perfect moment. And please, do not let panic push you into something stupid, because that's exactly when people make catastrophic mistakes. Late starters get desperate, they chase the get-rich-quick schemes, they dump their savings into some hot tip a buddy gave them, they fall for scams, and they blow up the very savings they were trying to grow. Do not do that. The boring plan still works, even late. You just have to actually start it right now and be consistent. And that word, consistent, is really the whole secret. The reason this plan works is not that it's clever, it's that you stick with it through everything. The market is going to crash sometimes, your account is going to go red. And when that happens, the winners do not panic and sell, they keep buying. Because they know a broad index of America's greatest companies has always, eventually, recovered and gone on to new highs. I don't touch hot stocks or the latest fad. I buy the boring index fund automatically in good times and bad, and I don't sell when everyone's scared. That discipline, more than any stock pick, is what actually builds the 7-figure account. Look at history for proof. Every American who kept buying through the crash of 2008, through the pandemic crash, through every scary headline of the last few decades, came out the other side richer because the market recovered and then some. The only people who got permanently hurt were the ones who panicked and sold at the bottom, locking in their losses and missing the recovery. So when your account is bleeding red one day, and it will be, remember that a downturn is simply the index going on sale, and you are still buying every payday. That is the mindset that wins. So let me bring it home. You do not need to be rich, brilliant, or lucky to retire a millionaire in America. You need a simple plan, automatic monthly investing into a low-cost index fund inside a Roth or a 401k, and you need the one thing money can't buy back, time. So the single best move you can make is to start today with whatever amount you can, because a smaller amount started now beats a bigger amount started later every single time. Set up that automatic transfer this week, pick the boring index fund, and then let compounding and the years do the heavy lifting. And since these numbers and rules can change, do check the current figures before you act. If this gave you a plan you can actually follow, hit that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'll see you there.